Welcome back to the garage. So here we are with another new project. Now that we've got some other stuff finished up. Aaron's Aspen's gone home and he's quite happy with it. The Jeep's gone home. Neighbor's happy with that. So, for our American friends, what you're looking at here is not a Chevy II or a Nova. This is an Acadian. And one of the biggest things that I hear misused, these are not Pontiacs. The Acadian and the Beaumont were sold at Pontiac dealers in Canada, but they were not Pontiacs. They were simply Acadians and Beaumonts. So they're kind of neat cars because they're Canadian only, of course. So this one's a customer's car. He's dropped it off for me to do a bit of metal work to it. Basically his grand plan is just a nice driver that he can take his family out in. Anyway, he purchased the car, and inside, well, anyway, he went to bedline the floors in it, put new carpet in it, and he got a little bit more than he bargained for, which is not unusual with a car this age. So I'll show you the trunk just because it's probably the easiest to see. So both side sections here have been patched, and just to get an idea how long ago it was done, you can see that it was brazed. So I'm gonna have to pop all that out and see what the hell we're dealing with here. He has a complete trunk pan he's bought for it, because you can see it's kind of punky in a few other spots here too. So I'll have to make these two side panels because he was saying that they don't sell these. So I have to fix that. And he's already, when he dropped the car off, he gave me new floor braces to put in it. And then these are actually the gas tank straps that get welded up to the trunk floor to hold the gas tank up. But inside the car is this is how a lot of cars in Canada were fixed. Sheet metal screws, rivets, and patches covered with tar. As you can see, there's no shortage of patches in this car. So I mean, that's well, it's a structural issue, especially on a car like this, which is a unibody car. See, there's another one there that's just self-tapped in. And you can see it's punky, the floor everywhere else anyway. You can see there's a hole here and a hole there, and I'm sure there's holes down in here too. So he's got a reproduction floor pan for this car. What he's got circled there are the rear seat tabs, where the rear seat bolts to. I have to reuse that because apparently they're different between a coupe and a sedan. Other than that, the floor pan's the same, so that's not a big deal. But this is one of those cars that looks really, really good from 20 feet away. But as you get closer to it, you can see sanding scratches, and you can see just poor bodywork. You can see it's really, really punky on this side. And I don't even want to know what's under those. But I guess we can find out here. Oh, God. Oh, that's good and stuck on there. Oh, nice. Yeah, so that's what's underneath anything that's taped up like that, is just patches that they've gone ahead and covered up with sound deadening material. You can see there's a big hole here, and it's been patched over there, and it's all punky in here. That's actually body filler. That's Bond over there. I think they body filled a rust hole in the floor. That's interesting. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna cut all this nastiness out and replace it with good metal. Yeah, that's all they did. They just took pieces of steel, laid them down, and screwed them down into the floor. Oh man. Yeah. So he's supposed to drop the floor pans and the trunk pan and everything off tomorrow. And so I guess tomorrow I'll get the car up and start hacking this shit out. So, as you can see, I got it up on my cribbing blocks. And we are going to be doing floor pans. And we're also going to do a trunk pan and some other little bits and pieces. As you can see, let me turn on this. Okay, there we go. There's been some previous interesting repairs done that are definitely not up to today's standards, although I don't really think they were ever to anyone's proper standards. Let alone anyone who wishes to transport their family in such an automobile. It's kind of pretty nasty. The only cool part about this is because it's basically the exact same as a Chevy II or a Nova, you can buy everything reproduction for these cars. The customer also has a complete floor pan and trunk pan. So both of those are going to be installed as I stick my finger over them to camera. As you can see, it's kind of punky. Another strip there, screwed in. Screwed in. There's all this crap. And I think there may be another patch under here somewhere. As you can see, it's a little bit punky here. So we're going to have to reuse those brackets, because apparently that's the only difference on a coupe floor pan to a sedan floor pan. Again, I'm not a GM guy, so news to me. You can see a little bit on the punky side. There's a very old patch here because it's all brazed. Center of the floor pan's actually not bad. Outside of it's completely pooched. And that's all brazed in. Brazed, brazed, brazed. Brazed, it comes down and it's folded over here and brazed in. More punkiness. You can see it's all kind of punky in here. He mentioned something about body filling that. I think I'm going to make a piece to go in there because I got to get in there to work anyway. The car at some point was in a wreck in the back end, and they boogered all this up here. So he's got the complete pan, he's got all these rails, which that's actually really soft. So let me slide under and I can show you the rest of the boogering. As you can see, they made a section of rear rail and booger welded it in. So I'm going to clean that up the best I can, and I'm going to put a fish plate across it on both sides because it'll just make me feel a whole lot better about sending somebody down the road with something like that. And you can see the gas tank strap brackets are they're punky. And here's the other side where they did the same thing and just booger welded in a piece of tube. And well, that's interesting, I'll tell you that much. Let's see, I already dropped the gas tank. and the filler neck, and took some other stuff off the bottom of the car here, and I probably should drop the exhaust maybe. And the park brake cable, and there's probably a bunch of stuff I should take off. Anyway, come up here and kind of get the idea of the boogering. They've made a piece to go in here. Ooh, that's actually really soft. I don't know why that's really soft right there. And yeah, okay. You see, it's all rotten here, it's all rotten there. Actually, inside that fender's rotten too, but I'm not being paid to fix that. And then over here, this looks okay. Looks like oil's leaked on it for a long time, so that seems to have fixed it. Oh, there's a leaking fuel line hose. Huh. Maybe I'll fix that while I'm here then. Because I'd kind of like to take the fuel line off and why is that there? I don't want to know. Why is that there though? I don't know. I'll have a look at that too. I think it's a power glide. Yeah, it's a 2-speed power glide. There's a vacuum modulator on it. Oil filter's leaking? The oil filter's leaking, and so is the rear main. Huh. Another small block Chevy with a rear main leak. Anyway, not my problem today. And then this is kind of all buggered up too. I don't know what they thought they were doing here. Looks like it's rotten right up to the toe panel here. I might have to do something about that. But yeah, that's kind of what we're going to do, is we're just going to eliminate all this complete and utter pile of crap. Yeah, see, they made this one out too. This has all been replaced. Which you can buy reproductions of that, which he's already supplied, so we'll just go ahead and put those on instead. Now, is that supposed to have a hole there? I'm thinking that probably is not supposed to have a hole there. I don't know, is there one on this side? Well, maybe it is supposed to have a hole. I just don't think the hole's supposed to be that big. Oh well, whatever. We'll figure that out. We'll get it apart and have a look at it. Anyway, I don't think I talked about what's under the hood. It's got a 327, and I think it's pretty stock, the 327. I don't think it's overly worked over or anything. But yeah, it's a 327, 2-speed power glide, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bolt rear end. So that's what it's got. And I always forget that these cars are monoleaf. So, oh, you can see more where it's brazed here. That's kind of a mess. Well, kind of is putting it nicely. I'll probably end up replacing that entire piece because it's just a complete disaster. You can see they rebuilt all in here too, and it's pretty. Actually, there's nothing there behind it. And it looks like they made new lower quarters too, because it comes down to an exact square point here, which I highly doubt it did from the factory. But yeah, so oof, that's what we're working on. So I will probably start cutting some of the trunk. Okay, it's a rainy day, but right here in the shop this morning before we go to work. And we've had a sheet metal delivery. The owner brought over a complete set of floors and a trunk pan. Looks like this one already had the braces on it, so he didn't need to buy all these floor braces. But whatever, he's got them now. I guess he'll just have spares. The only thing I wish he had bought for the side portions of the trunk is, now looking at the trunk floor, he only got the perimeter floor, so just the center here of it. So I guess we'll have to do something about that. I notice it does not have the brackets on it for the spare tire hold down either, so I guess we'll have to fix that. Oh well. Fun and games. So that's a trunk out. I do see there's a hole in the top of this wheel well. We're gonna have to fix too. That's okay. There's our sheet metal. I think I am gonna drop the exhaust. Okay, after a bit of work. So I'm gonna have to make a new trunk drop off because it's completely rotten. Because this top half is original, and then they've added in pieces on the bottom when they did the body on this car. And what I'm finding is in behind here is all full of what should have been on the top of here, because that's actually where these outer pieces connect to. So that's a problem. But I'm gonna have to make all these side panels anyway, so that's not a total loss. And over on this side you can see it's kind of rotten on the top there anyway. So the more concerning problem that I have now is this rear panel here that sits down here. This is where the trunk attaches to, and it's completely gone. So I'm gonna have to make up a channel to go across the bottom of here, because it's basically where the taillight panel and the quarter panel come down and get welded to, and then this bottom piece here, which is the culprit at the moment, as you can see, it gets welded to that. And you can see some of the old repairs and stuff here too. So this side I already cut that out because that's just a disaster and I don't even want to deal with it. So yeah, fun and games, fun and games.